Hello, welcome to Nakti by j.N.S. And today we continue with the Black American series. And we are actually on the last video, which is part 20. And part 20 deals with addressing the Black American versus Africans diaspora, quote unquote, wars. And basically, these diaspora, quote unquote, wars is this narrative that is usually propagated online and within individual households that appears to be a one-sided beef that Africans have with Black Americans. So I want to address that. This video is basically going to detail more proof of how the issue is actually one-sided and solutions, and we're going to talk about why do we see certain narratives about Black Americans by the African diaspora, like certain things that they say, certain things that they do, and the ways that they come at Black Americans. We're going to dive deep into the psychology of why that occurs, as far as the reasons, and we're going to talk about ancient history that led to this resentment and this animosity. Now again, I will be addressing this from the point of view as a sociologist, so I will actually be showing exhibits of how this beef is one-sided, and also I would like to refer you to the NSARS Black Americans versus Africans video that is on this channel, because it also shows further examples and proof of what I will be talking about. The post that I'm going to show you and the medias that I'm going to show you, you will not be able to find the equivalency from Black Americans. This information I'm going to show you is going to be stuff that you can readily find online that is propagated by Africans. So we will dive deep into why that is. So we're going to show this jealousy and hatred that Africans have towards Black Americans that will further propagate the need for our own ethnicity and gatekeeping of our culture. The reason why I'm showing you this information, Black Americans, is so that you can be aware of what rhetorics are being told about you, what narratives are being said about you, and that you will need to really understand even further how you need to gatekeep your own culture, and you need an identifier that is separate from other people. So I'm going to be showing you a series of social media posts. So why are we showing social media posts? What is the psychology behind a social media post? Well, basically, gossiping on social media is a convenient way to pour out baseless stories. You know, it is always a veneer for envy, usually. It is an unpalatable way to disguise envy or resentment. So a lot of these tweets that I'm going to show you, a lot of this gossiping and this talking and this hate, this literally like hate speech that I'm about to show you, is a disguise for envy. And envy can come in various forms. It can come because of material possessions, fame, appearance, genetics, achievements, happiness, respect, popularity, intelligence, knowledge, likability. So any of these things people can be envious of. So envy is the acknowledgement of feeling insecure to another person who possesses something that you value or desire. So social media posts reveal who we are, in a sense. They are the subconscious psyche of what one feels. And social media is the reservoir of what we think, what we believe, what scares us, what makes us feel inferior, what we fight for, what we approve, and what we disapprove of. So I want you to understand that social media is the medium for self-expression. It is a digital world, and it is one of the most effective ways to find out who someone really is. And this research comes from a very intelligent person who researched how to know things about people by studying social media and studying small things about their behavior. So let's start to look at some of these tweets, keeping in mind that what I just told you about the psyche of social media. So let's look at these tweets to get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Keeping in mind that social media is the form of self-expression, and also keeping in mind that usually hate is a disguised form of envy. So let's go. So here we have Exhibit A. This is a random tweet by some African, and it says, yourself to be respected. An average black American is either without father, without a college degree, or gang affiliate. These are the expectations of black Americans. Wonder why Nigerians do better over there. And we're also going to talk about this common theme of, oh, we're doing better than you at what. So, we're going to talk about what are they doing better at, and why hasn't they been able to do that in their own country, like build their own country up. So we're going to talk about the psychology behind that. But as you can see, this is random. No one has engaged this person. We don't, and you cannot find the equivalency of a black American talking like this unless it's to say, hey, what's up with this disrespect? This is why we don't really want to deal with y'all, because why are y'all talking like this? But usually if you go online and see a black American talking about an African, it's in response to tweets like this. So now let's look at another one. So as you can see, this was a person named Debbie Ambra Brefru, who says, because those Akatas don't deserve all that global attention, opportunists. I don't support violence against innocent Nigerians, but the Diaspora's support seems self-serving. It's easier to usurp attention and piggyback off of Black Lives Matter than help by repatriating. So basically, this person, Debbie, felt like during those George Floyd protests, when the whole world was protesting for black Americans, this person was like, those Akatas don't deserve all that global attention. So these, of course, it's this one particular group that is like literally talking like this, if you notice, and they have problems pretty much everywhere they go, in Morocco and Ghana and South Africa. Pretty much wherever this group goes, they have severe issues that need to be worked out within themselves. But once again, they don't deserve all of that attention. Is that not? So you on the outside and you see the situation with NSARS, and you see people not really checking for that, or people looking at y'all like y'all killing each other, so what that got to do with us? And they're getting upset that it wasn't the same with the George Floyd protests. It wasn't the same with Breonna Taylor or with any of Trayvon Martin. So they're like, oh, they don't deserve all that attention. We deserve it. NSARS deserve it, not them. So you see that envy and you see that resentment. And again, this is a random person. You don't even know who this is. And it's just weird. It really is weirdo stuff. And I'm letting you know, black American, that these are very dangerous people. I've been around these people, and this is not a good thing to be around, to know that you have people smiling in your face but ready to stab you in your back, and running on social media to dog your people out, thinking that the world cannot see these tweets. So let's keep going. A black American knows nothing about Africa. Their ancestors lived in Africa more than 300 years ago. Their history is slavery, Jim Crow. The only thing they share with Nigerians is skin tone and heritage, nothing else. Once again, the same group. And I try to ask the black American, how has Pan-Africanism helped you? Your people started, my people started Pan-Africanism. You cannot name one thing that benefited black Americans in terms of Pan-Africanism, but you can name a bunch of benefits that these people have coming over here and took advantage of your ancestors' plight and pain, and have often tried to body snatch your very essence. And here they are talking like this. Let's keep going. Never ever. Africans have a voice and is golden. African Americans are not, and will never be the voice of Africans. So once again, you can see that veiled envy. And go check out that NSARS video, Black Americans versus Africans, because it's the same shit that I'm showing. It's literally the same stuff. And if you think that this is not how the average Nigerian is thinking and the average African is thinking, you were going to be mistaken, because go hang around these people and don't tell them who you are, and they will bring you up randomly at parties, at events, at dinners, at clubs, out of no reason, at the mall, wherever. Like, these people will literally bring you up. I've been around them, and they have done it to me while not knowing necessarily what my ethnicity is, and they will randomly bash on black Americans out of a weird infatuation, envy. And it's very serious, black Americans, and you need to be on alert, and you need to gatekeep your culture. So here's another one. Once again, what do you see? You see the same pattern with this same group of people. I call black Americans dark whites because it takes you, be African, to truly be black. And once again, you see the NSARS. They supposed to be fighting a whole revolution against their government and NSARS. You can see the hashtags, but yet and still they're running on the social media to bash the Black American, which is very strange and weird, but this is what it is. Like, you know you that shit when you cause all that conversation, okay? Like, this is the same group of people. And I showed you 20 videos of your fucking history of everything that you have ever done globally and everything you contribute to this world, including your inventions, including everything that you went through. So it should be no surprise that there are people that are like this. And this is why blacks are at the bottom globally anyways, because of that same spirit, that Bavioti spirit that is very prevalent in Africa to this day. So be on alert, and I keep telling you, and I'm gonna when I say I'm gonna break this shit down, like the psychology behind these people, their subconscious mind, I'm going in on their ass, and there's nothing they can do. I'm going to drag them for filth, and with proof. I'm not even gonna dog them. I'm not be calling nobody out their name. I'm not gonna be making up lies on people. I'm not gonna be bashing them. It's gonna be their own truth being put in their own face. And Black Americans, I want you to face the music of what the hell's been going on. If you do not know what's going on, pay attention to this video, watch all 19 videos of this series, and check out other stuff in my channel. Check out the history, check out the Queen Mothership, and you gonna know why blacks have been in this position for the last 1,000 years. So let's keep going. This one says, haha, Akata, my mom warns me about dating them. Once again, random. No one's thinking about these people. These people live, you should see how their countries look. I'm going to show you that as well. Like, this shit is really strange. And this is a very common, what I'm about to show you here. No Akata girl would ever be a threat to me. They don't have what I have. Once again, like, why is this even a discussion? If someone truly feels confident in themselves, they never have to compare themselves to other people, and they never have to put nobody else down and make themselves feel better. And that is a common theme with this group of people. They are extremely competitive because of insecurities that they feel, inferiorities that they feel, so they mask it. Being super competitive is usually always some form of insecurity, because you should be competing with yourself to be the best, and you should be comparing yourself to your latest version of yourself so that you can be better. So when people are always trying to look at you to see what you're doing and gotta go and run and talk about you, it's always some form of insecurity and feeling threatened. So let's keep going. Here's another one. To be very honest, Nigerian women have qualities that a Akata woman can never possess. You see, she didn't mention no white woman. She didn't mention no Latino woman. They all in our business and all in our grill because they see in us as a top dog, and they want to do some sort of body snatching of our essence. So this is a mask. This right here is clear projection. This is clear insecurity, because who in their right mind would even put something like that online? Like, for me, I would never say nothing like this about an African woman, because what's wrong with an African woman? Nothing. Like, okay, you're going to have some very beautiful African women. You're going to have some not so beautiful African women, just like in all groups of people. So what's the big deal? A woman is a woman, and it's the black woman. I don't feel no envy and no jealousy in my heart about African women, because I genuinely think they are beautiful. And I generally think that I am beautiful myself, as well as Black American women. So when you feel confident in yourself, and when you secure in yourself, you do not have to tear other people down. That's the lesson you need to take from this. And I'm showing you, Black Americans, what the hell is going on. Because you up here thinking about Pan-Africanism just like me. You up here being obsessed with Pan-Africanism and coming together and being one and being united. And these people are not thinking like that. That's why black people are at the bottom globally, because they can't even study the Conference of Berlin and see how all them white people gathered together against us, and they never do it. They practice that tribalism, and that's why they have the problems that they have globally. So I'm showing you the evidence of this shit right in front of you. So let's keep going. I stopped using the word Akata because people started figuring out what it meant. So again, these people had this secret word that is tantamount to saying the N-word with a hard ER, and they knew it, and they was hoping that nobody ever found out. And it was always meant to refer to as a Black American. Again, why is all this stuff on social media? Why is this the topic? Why are there multiple tweets by the same people about this group? Why is it this one particular group that got all this smoke for Black Americans, but you see how their country is looking? It's really freaking strange and appalling, to be honest. And to be honest, it kind of made me turn forever against always wanting to be all this kumbaya stuff with these people, because it is a fact that these people have so much hatred and jealousy in their heart. I've been around these people in person, and even the men have jealousy issues. It is very, very strange how these people operate. So let's keep going. Here's another one. I remember how concerned we Nigerians were with the killings of blacks in Nigeria. We posted Black Lives Matter. We supported them. Now it's time to support us. You're acting like y'all skin is in black. I prefer the whites to these racist black Americans. So once again, these people had all this smoke. Check out that NSAR's Black American versus Africans video, where I show all the hatred of this group and how they turned around and asked for protests from black Americans, and then got envious that they did not get the same results as a George Floyd protest, and it wasn't as relevant. So as you can see, they prefer the white. So call on white people then. If you go, good luck with that. Getting white people to protest some NSARs of y'all niggas killing each other up and shooting each other up. Good luck with that. But what has the West and white people done in Nigeria and in Africa completely? They have colonized it and stolen all the resources, plundered 14.1 million artifacts out of Africa to put in European museums, enslaved 12 million of you niggas, decimated all of your land and resources, stole all of your uranium, cadmium, rubies, diamonds, and gold, and silver, and oil, put you at the bottom racially. And this is what they have to say they prefer. Now, I showed you 19 videos of the history of the black American, but yet and still you have people that will go, and this is a professor, you have people that will go on the internet and talk crazy like this, and it is that same group of people, and they are lacking very much in critical thinking skills, and they think that people cannot see through their soul, and it needs to be called out. Black Americans, this is outrageous. I want you to really think twice about how you always want to support other groups of people instead of your own. You need to focus on yourself, and until these people can fix their issues, get real confidence in their soul, be real confident, stop being narcissistic, then they can come among us, and then we can amend that situation as far as building genuine connections, because the black American is always looking for genuine connections with the African diaspora, no matter where they are at in Africa, wherever country they're at. The black American does not care what tribe you're from, what color you are in Africa. As long as you have a genuine soul, then the black American is very much happy to have authentic relationships. But when we see crap like this, all bets are off. Like, y'all gotta fix that, and y'all actually are in for very much rude awakening within your own countries, globally in Africa, because you guys still have not learned your lesson from the Conference of Berlin, and you guys are still very much self-hating and tribalist, and you're gonna just learn a very serious lesson that on your own. You may not suffer from the pandemic as much as everyone else, and thank God for that, but there's going to be other stuff that is going to test Africa, the soul of Africans. And if they have all that self-hatred and all that hatred in their heart, good luck. Okay, so let's keep going. This is one I want to show. I think this was made by a black American. All you Africans, especially the Nigerians, talk all this anti-black American talk on Twitter and talk that Akata stuff, when in fact you are the Akata, fleeing your oppressive black leaders. I've been to several countries on the continent, and I can see the black on black oppression. That's very profound, because it is true. Africans will tell you themselves that when they go to restaurants, if there's white people around, and especially in Kenya, the Africans would treat the white person better, service them first, give them better quality service than their own people in their own continent. That's just a known thing. Any African will tell you this if they want to hide this stuff and try to cover up their own shame and project their own shit onto black Americans. But if you went over in Africa, you will see open sewage, septic tanks, not even structured properly. The infrastructure is very weak. You would see that you most likely can't even drink the water. There are black Americans who have gotten diseases from drinking the water just in Senegal. You can't even drink the bottled water there. So everything has to get imported. If you are a black American, you move over there because you're not used to the things that they have. That food, except for the fruits and veggies, they eat a lot of canned food, and they're starting to import all of this food that's not even healthy for them, that they never ate in history. So you have to import certain things like water just to feel comfortable. So they're doing all this projecting and oppressing each other, and these corrupt governors, these corrupt politicians are still skimming money, stealing money, selling their people out, making sure that their people are impoverished where they get kickbacks from the West, and they're not doing anything about it. They're blaming the government, but they're all complicit in it. It is 1.3 billion of them in certain countries. We talking about 50 million people, 20 million, 200 million people in Nigeria alone. So they're talking all this craziness when they're not looking within, and they're not looking at their own situation, because they're trying to project all their shit onto black Americans. They see all this on the news and the media, or they see the popularity, and they don't even know what comes with that and what we went through. They have not even studied our history, and they want to rush over here and try to benefit off of our ancestors' pain, and that shit is bananas. So we need to be aware of the situation in Africa itself. Yeah, we like the Coming to America movie. There are definitely development in Africa, but it is not developed to where it should be, given the resources. So yes, they have skyscraper buildings. Yes, they have that usually the Chinese have built, or the Belgians. Seriously. So yes, they have certain infrastructure over there. I'm not saying it's just grasslands and elephants everywhere, but they themselves know that their shit is not developed the way it should be, that the governments are oppressing their own people, and that the ingenuity of the people is being stifled, and they are not doing they're not focused on that. They focused on us, and we need to really call that out, and we need to push that hatred. We need to put that mirror back up in their face and say, here's your self-hatred. Instead of projecting that shit onto my group, look at what's going on with your own people and your hometown. So let's keep going. Nigerians are flocking to work in Texas prison. An immigration trend changes the face of corrections. So once again, these people have no problem getting in where they fit in. They will trample over you to what they perceive as being in the system, which is usually the matrix. It is not their own system. It is Western society. So they are coming over here to work in a prisons to oppress other black people. They have no problem doing it. They do this in their own country with the oppression. That's why you see them killing each other, chopping each other's breast off, doing the Boko Haram, doing the Biafran war, all types of civil war, just killing each other just off of facial features like the Tutsis and the Houthis and all this stuff. This stuff is outrageous, and it must be called out, because these people have went too far in their self-hatred. They are literally causing us to continue to be perpetually at the bottom globally, because they don't have any racial self-pride, and they're projecting so much hatred onto other black people. So let's keep going. Now this one is a big one, and if this don't show you what these people is about, I don't know what will. Okay, so here we have the Nigerian Union Diaspora in America congratulates Trump. You can see the date. You can see this was in New York, and you can see who it was written by. And let's keep going and see what it actually says. So it says, Nigerians in America, under the auspices of Nigerian Union Diaspora, hereby congratulate you for the victory in the presidential election of November 8, 2016. Mr. President-elect, as you stated in your victory speech, now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division and work together. This statement is especially important considering the divisive tone that characterized the long presidential campaign. Now, mind you, Trump called their country a shithole, but this is what they fixed their mouth to say. Let's keep going. We strongly encourage you, sir, to capitalize on the post-election goodwill and extend an open hand to all Americans, including minority groups, most of who were frightened by aspects of your campaign that were widely viewed, understandably, with apprehension. But with your pledge to be the president for all, Nigerian Americans are emboldened to be willing, ready, and able to do all we can on the enormous work of healing the country and building a better America for all its citizens. An America that works for all the people is a pillar for peace, global, and stability. So, once again, do you think that Trump and them really care about some shit like this? Like this group of people do not understand white people at all. They don't understand Western pedagogy or Western thought. So for them to even write something like this is outrageous, given that this president called their country a shithole. I'm not saying that they should have spewed hate speech towards him. They just should have ignored it. Like, did you see any black Americans writing no crap like this? No, we just mind our business. Like, okay, he won. Okay, let's see what he do. All of this, are you going to be all American presidents and all this? They don't even want you in their country. And what did Trump do? He restricted Nigerian visas. So again, just notice the trend of who is spewing all this stuff, what they're doing and how they're moving. Now watch this. See this second paragraph right here. It says the Nigerian Americans trace their history in the United States back to over 4 centuries ago and have contributed immensely in all spheres of U.S. national development. Now, that's what I'm talking about. How the hell were you here 400 years ago? Do you see that they literally have said that they were black Americans, that they don't trace their history back here? How do you trace your history in the United States 400 years ago? That's what 4 centuries are ago. You know this, and contributed immensely. They have not even been allowed to come over here until after 1965. So do you not see black Americans, what we're dealing with? Like I don't see how they could say, as far as being Nigerian Americans in their own country, that they are the same group that have been over here for 400 years and it can trace their history back. How the hell can you trace your history back? How? What you talking about, the black Americans that was already over here? The indigenous black Americans? And the ones that was sold off from Africa? Them not your people? We are not even the same people. And as you see all them tweets of them saying, you're not African, it take a true African to be, y'all dark whites. Well, I take the whites over these black Americans. So you see that jealousy? If I've just proved to you the jealousy. They talked all that shit and then wrote something like this and said, we can trace, the Nigerian Americans can trace their history in the United States back to over 4 centuries ago. That was 400 years. That's before the country was even America. That's clearly they're referring to the slave trade and black Americans. That's not y'all people though. That's black Americans and their lineage. So you see them scooping over all that Akata stuff. What it's really about? They kissing ass the president to see how they can get a Scooby snack and all this stuff, and it still didn't work. And then they're cosplaying and body snatching the identity of black Americans by saying that they were here for 400 years ago. So if you cannot see how that is insane, I don't know what is. Now, do black Americans, some of them may be descendants of Nigeria, but that's not the same. These are immigrants. These people are not the same as us. They do not claim us. We don't even look the same. We don't even have the same admixture anymore. We do not have the same culture anymore. So you cannot claim a group of people that was here 400 years ago. Because when we tried to say, hey, you know that our haplogroups are the same, right? Hey, you know that our ancestors come from Nigeria. Y'all still didn't care. And y'all actually said, oh, you're not African. You're not. No, you'll never be us. Great. Okay. We don't want to be. And if you could see our history and study our history, we didn't fumble the ball. We don't have a history of selling people out, selling each other and all this stuff. You see our 600 history, that's small, and that's not like, that's a new history. But I mean, them 600 years that I showed you from 1451 to 2021, showing what everything the black American went through in this country, you didn't see no crazy ass shit of black Americans going to civil war with each other, ripping each other's heads off, chopping off clitorises, chopping off breasts, and doing Boko Haram stuff. You don't see none of that in my history, in my people's history. But we can pull up a textbook of y'all history, and I could show in various parts of Africa where y'all was killing each other, doing wars, selling other tribes out to the white man. And now y'all got yourself in that situation, selling out your own people, overthrowing the Queen Mothership. So don't try to claim the diaspora, just like how y'all can't claim them Jamaicans, and how them Jamaicans will tell you real quick that they not African and they not the same and they're Jamaicans. Do not do that to my people, to black Americans, because y'all never say, oh, the Jamaicans don't have no culture, the Trinidadians don't have no culture, the Brazilians don't. Y'all don't say that to them. They've been out of Africa for 600 years too. So don't come at my people like that. We've been out of Africa for 600 years. You said we not the same. You said y'all just like the white man. Y'all do. Okay, let it be. we'll see how this turned out, because we haven't had any help for 600 years, so we actually don't need y'all. But y'all coming over here and applying for affirmative actions and applying for our scholarships that my ancestors died for, so y'all clearly need us. We built a lot of this infrastructure in this country. That's a fact. All the railroads, the White House, all these universities that y'all attending, that was my ancestors that laid those bricks. So y'all need us. And this proof is in the pudding. So now we about to get deep into the psychology of why they're saying the things that they're saying and why they're doing the things that we're doing. They sold their own people out to foreign people, the Portuguese, the Dutch, and the British, for trinkets, for mirrors, and weird little spices from India. They had no idea who these people were and where those people was going, but they had no problem selling out other tribes because they said that's not our tribe, and then the shit backfired, and the white man came and got their ass up too. So they were jealous then, and they are jealous now. The thing is, they was hoping when they sold the tribe of Judah out and all these other tribes, the Mindi tribe, the Takir tribe, when they sold the Mindi tribe is known for vast superior warrior skills and stuff. The Takir tribe is known for certain types of consciousness in their mind that is very brilliant. So they were selling out niggas that they know that could be a threat one day to them. Duh. So why do you think they sold Black Americans, Jamaicans, and all this stuff? We all over the land now because of this, because of these people. They knew that when they were selling us to the white man on those ships, that they would have never saw us again. But they were hoping to wipe those bloodlines off of the planet in 1 to 2 generations. So they figured at least in 1 to 2 generations that those tribe bloodlines will be completely gone, and we won't have to worry about them ever again. It was not because you were so weak, because if that's the case, the Black American would not have ended up building the most powerful country on the planet. So that was the outcome when 500 years went by and we met up again, when they were allowed to come over here after 1965, after the Civil Rights Movement, and they still saw all those Black Americans over here. They felt that ancestral anger again. That's why they do go on Twitter and do all that stuff. That's why they say all this stuff. That's why they kata and all this. That is ancestral epigenetics. That's cell memory consciousness. They cannot believe that their plan backfired, because look at Africa, and they cannot believe that the group that they call themselves selling out, the Jamaicans and the Black Americans, and even some of the other Caribbean nations, are actually more popular as far as social capital and as far as soft power. And they just shocked that Black Americans was able to do all that stuff that they have done in 600 years under a boot of oppression. So that's where that anger comes from. That's where that envy comes from. And that's why they're going online and on social media talking crazy. Oh, they're not African. Oh, they not deserve all that attention. Oh, they'll never be able to compare. Oh, we can't stand them. Oh, go look at both of my videos and compare these tweets. Go look at these tweets yourself. All you gotta do is just put Black Americans and put Africans. You're gonna see a whole bunch of Africans just talking crazy. So this is what they are about. So this is the reason for all of their hatred. The fact that they sold them niggas they was threatened by 1,000 years ago, hoping to wipe them off the planet for good, and then to come find out they still around, bopping around and living decent and trying to protect themselves and trying to live every day and putting their best foot forward every day. And that's what these Africans are really ravenously jealous of, and they cannot believe that they in spite of everything that went through us, then they cannot believe that we still resilient and that we still built a culture and still love actually being melanated, even though we spent 600 years being whitewashed. And through our struggles, we are still made resilient, and we still practice alchemy. We still practice them ancient religions subconsciously, such as the teachings of Tahuti and the teachings of Hathor. We still have those bloodlines in us. We still understand the Ma'at system and our cell memory consciousness. Now, I'm not saying that Black Americans did everything right, because we have not. We have not. But we, by and large, love being melanated, and we also have no hatred in our hearts towards other groups of people. So that is why this group is always online talking about us, always saying Nakata, running over here to engage in our culture. They're starting up these magazines acting like they're Black Americans. Then you find out they're not. Gossip and shade room, media takeout. You must not support that stuff, because I'm showing you the proof of what this is all about. You see them writing our president talking about we've been in this country for 400 years. How? You see them going on the internet saying that we don't deserve all that attention, and SARS do. You see all this envy. This is envy. This is insecurity, and it needs to be called out once and for all. So we're going to address the common talking points that they love to go once again on the internet and spewing. And one of the common things that they say is we do better in your country than you. What have you done better than? Because I already showed you 19 videos of everything my people have been through and everything that they have done, and I didn't even get to show all their inventions. So what did you do better than? And when we built this whole infrastructure up, what are you doing better than? We already have Black lawyers. We already have Black mathematicians. We already have Black engineers. In fact, your call forwarding and your touchscreen, that was invented by a Black American. So what is it? The IBM computer, that was a Black American. What have you done that we have not done? What are you doing better than? And you're living myopically. And then, if that's the case, you should be able to go in your own country and continue to do that. Why can't you do that in your own country? Why you have to come over here in my country? Not only that, why is it that Black Americans do better in Ghana, in Nigeria, when they go over there? It is because the Africans that are allowed to come over in this country usually come from means. Quiet as it kept, a lot of these people that you see that are Africans are not refugees. They are not poor. They come from the elite class in their own societies most of the time. So if you are already elite because of the stuff, the politicians' money or whatever, how y'all got your money, the money that y'all have, if y'all already have money in your country, of course you're gonna have money in America. Y'all do better than the white people here. And when the white people go to your country, they do quite well. So what is this narrative of we're doing better than you in your own country? Do you know that in Ghana there are Black Americans who own hotel resorts, that own hospitals, that own schools? Black Americans that literally own schools teaching Ghanaian children. Who cares? Of course they most likely went over there. You gotta have money to live in Africa. We all know that. You gotta import all that water. You gotta import all the things that we used to. Amazon packages gotta be rerouted and you gotta get them big ass shipping containers just to go to Africa and all. You gotta have money to get there. So if any Black American is over in Africa and they were to say we're doing better than you in your own country, they're gonna look stupid as fuck. Duh, asshole, you was doing better than half the Americans there. You have to have money to get over here. So that's why you don't see Black Americans talk like that when they living in Ghana and Nigeria and South Africa, because they already know they were already the wealthy or middle class in their own country. So duh. Yeah, they're gonna be doing better than half of the Africans in there. Just like when you come over here, you take that small amount of Africans that they let over here. They're usually taking the most educated, the ones with tech skills, and you gotta have some money. You gotta have some type of money. They may have a small amount of refugees allowed, just a tiny amount. But for the most part, they're not just letting no random Africans. No. And you know that they only allowed that after 1965. So all of this, we're doing so much better than you in your own country. You're not doing better than the Black American. The Black American is doing whatever the hell they want to do. So if they want to do mediocre shit, great shit, nothing, if they want to do nothing with they that's their business. So they already did everything, and we know how to do everything. So what is there you're doing better? What, being a lawyer? Being the ass-kissing lawyer? Being a lawyer for the white man? Being a doctor in a white society? So what are you doing so much better than? Being a lawyer in a Western society? Being a doctor in a Western society? Being a professor in a Western society? You can't even do it in your own country. What is so impressive about being a doctor in a Western society? Because you're brainwashed. Just because you're whitewashed doesn't mean that Black Americans value the same things y'all do. Yes, we value education, but we value intellect. Intellect and education is two different things. So we value creativity. We value expression of the soul. Things that bring us passion. So we're just a different group of people that won't even be able to understand why is this rush to go work in the Western society when we actually are on business ownership. The average Black American right now is obsessed with starting some type of business. Even niggas in the hood, everybody want a business right now. The Black Americans are, we gotta have businesses, we gotta have black business. That's how we're talking. So we cannot relate to Nigerian talking about, we're doing better than you because I'm a software engineer. Okay, like that, you're working as a software engineer for Google or whatever these companies are, and we're trying to get our own business popping. So I don't know. Okay, I don't know how that's supposed to make us feel. We will only feel some type of way if we value that. And trust me, I know a lot of engineers and all types of lawyers, all types of stuff. It will only make me feel some type of way if I value that. To be honest, I am obsessed with entrepreneurship. I am obsessed with owning and self-determination. So I can't relate to that type of mindset. So as far as this notion that we're doing better than you in your own country, that is obviously a narrative that can be easily obliterated, because once again, when a Black American goes over to Ghana, they pretty much buy up the shit too. They own the land, they own the hotel resorts, they start up schools. It's the same thing. You were the wealthy that were allowed over here, so of course you're going to be doing better than Black Americans and even white Americans. But you have not done anything that we have not done, and we are not impressed by running from another country to come to a country to mute off of that said ancestor that you have so much resentment for, and then working in a Western society when the things that need to be done in your country is still underdeveloped and all types of things. That's just, I don't see how somebody should be impressed with that, just to be honest. So let's keep going. Y'all say you Black Americans are lost. That's what they say in them tweets and stuff. And if you don't see that, check it out in the other video that I just told you about. They say y'all lost and y'all don't know who y'all are, y'all don't know y'all roots. Okay, so what has not being lost done for you in Africa? Look at Mama Africa. Look at the state of the continent. The biggest continent in the world, the continent with the most resources in the world that cannot be fucked with. It literally is powering the whole planet, except for you. So what has being found and knowing your tribe done for you when you gotta flee? Do you know that there were 7,000 Nigerians during the pandemic that rushed to the airport to them private planes to try to get into America during the pandemic? 7,000. So what has it done? What has being found and knowing your tribe for centuries done for you and your people? Maybe you as an individual, but look at the impoverishment of those people. In many of these African countries, it should be no one impoverished in Africa. It should be no one dealing with the things they are dealing with in Africa. Jobs should be plenty. So much infrastructure to be developed. So many things to be created and invented. And there's some structural issues going on in your own countries. So what has being found or knowing your tribe actually done for you when y'all still going over to the lost people's land? Y'all still coming over here. I mean, if Black Americans, we so lost or whatever, I mean, I'll take that, because if that's what it means to be found as far as being hateful towards other groups, tribalist, self-hating, low self-esteem, unwilling to challenge the leaders on how they're allocating resources and money to the people, I'm good. I'll deal with the stuff that I gotta deal with in America. I will deal with that. Well, I will deal with the history of what my people went through versus having to go over there and deal with open sewage and all this stuff going on with this water. I can't even get a fresh cup of water. That's just crazy. So all of this stuff about we so lost, y'all lost too. Y'all just in denial. Y'all projecting everything onto us. How is Africa looking the way it's looking? That means you're lost too, because you clearly don't know who you are, and you don't know your history either. I have been around y'all. I had to tell you your freaking history. You get mad at me and feel offended, but y'all in Africa, they telling y'all and teaching y'all European history. Y'all not even learning African history in a lot of these schools. So there are some issues that need to be addressed. So all of this, we so lost, I would say all of y'all niggas is lost. Because Africa should not even be looking like that. And y'all shouldn't be holding your head down and going on media and writing crazy tweets comparing yourself to other black groups and all this weird stuff. It shouldn't be happening. So in my opinion, y'all are lost, if not worse, because y'all have been over there. And y'all have been in Africa and still did not build it up. Or your ancestors were selling people out and selling and doing all types of ridiculous stuff. And look at the state of Africa. So what has being found and being known in my tribe, what has it really gotten y'all? And it's important to say this because y'all lands have been plundered and squandered. The resources of Africa has been just squandered to the point where y'all don't even benefit off those resources. You have puppet leaders who purposely impoverish the people. Africa has been colonized after selling their own people, and now they come to the land that my people built and fight for crumbs in another man's land. They have to voluntarily come to a country that has historically been known to oppress black people instead of building up Mama Africa. So these people just have no right to be talking crazy to the black American. Once again, I ask you, what did knowing your tribe and knowing your land do for you? I studied all 54 countries in Africa and can break down 100,000 years of Africa and its history. And Africa is at its lowest state that it has ever been. And that will change. It's actually going in the opposite direction now. As far as the law of rhythm and the pendulum is swinging back into Africa's favor. But you got colonized on your own lands and oppress each other like hell in Africa. So once again, I ask, where did knowing your land do for you? Blaming it on the government and fleeing the country to go to the country that was built by the slaves? That's what it did for you? That's what it did? The skin bleaching? European wigs? What did it do? What did knowing your land do when y'all skin bleaching like hell over there and wearing them crazy ass wigs? So y'all gotta address your own stuff and stop projecting it onto my tribe. Do you know that skin bleaching is frowned upon in black American culture? It is. Skin bleaching is not safe. If you tell somebody that, black Americans will look at you like you out of your mind, and they will look at you, they will straight up call you to your face a self-hater. Also, believe it or not, black Americans love weaves, but as you notice, there's so much beef with weaves all our whole lives because, once again, black American men will call it out as trying to look like a European, a Malaysian, or Brazilian woman. So that's something that now has come to the forefront, and within the last 10 years, you do see black American women moving away from the weaves, or they're getting the weaves that look like their natural hair. So what did knowing the land do for you? Look, we gotta really nip this shit in the bud. I am so sick of this hatred of my people for no reason, and we're gonna have to address it. So let's keep going. So another one y'all say is, y'all need to stop saying that we live in the mud hut. Stop thinking that we live in mud huts and that we all deal with spears and stuff. My thing is, if y'all did, and if y'all don't, what's wrong with that? Here's another thing. We know that Africa has cities. We know that they have buildings. Do we not know that? Everyone knows that. But we also know that a lot of those villagers are still living in mud huts, which is actually clay. It is an eco-friendly home, and that clay has minerals that helps build the immune system. It is helping them be in tune with nature, and is giving them a beneficial energy from the sun. So what is actually wrong with a mud hut, quote unquote mud hut? It's actually a clay home. Do you know that there are people that are trying to get into eco-friendly situations now? They're living in tiny homes here in America, using certain materials to mimic the quote unquote clay mud hut. So if you see the black American has decolonized their mind, and particularly me, I could speak for myself, but I have decolonized my mind to the point where I don't see what's wrong with that. What's wrong with living off of damn nature? I don't get it. So even if someone says, okay, Africa has cities and they have mud huts. Why does that offend you for us to say that? For one, what's wrong with living in an eco-friendly house? And what's wrong with living off of nature? And also, what's wrong with having a spear? For one, humans are supposed to be hunting their own food. So we have removed ourselves so far away from God and from nature, where we go to grocery stores to get meat, when really you're supposed to be hunting. So what is wrong with old-fashioned hunting, bow and arrow, or a musket, or a spear? So what is wrong with having a fucking spear? Now, do you have that now? Most likely not. But there are bushmen in South Africa that still do traditional hunting with the spear, and there are plenty. There's 54 countries in Africa. There's plenty of Africans that are using a spear to get their food. And what the hell is wrong with that? That's how you build skills, hunting skills. How is it? How can you make fun of someone for knowing how to hunt their own fucking food? If all this stuff go down, like how we think it's going down with these food shortages, and you can't get in a grocery store and get no meat or get no food, period, you're gonna wish you had the bushman skills. And I'm talking to you Africans, because you're saying you get upset as the Black American says, oh, we wish we had a clay home, we should build us a clay home, or shit, we need to get a bow and arrow and start learning how to hunt. And y'all say, oh, y'all think we're so primitive? How is living in tune with nature primitive? So no one cares, and no one sees it as a bad thing to live in a clay home, and no one sees it as a bad thing to have a spear. So I don't know why y'all feel ashamed about that. If the Black American says, oh, we think that's cool, of course we know that not all of Africa has a damn mud hut. So let's keep going. We want to also talk about why in 600 years haven't Africa done anything to repatriate Black Americans or to help get them back over there, with the exception of Ghana, and I think Rwanda has done something, and Nigeria has done something as of 2019, I believe. So why did it take so long? Because that just started within the last 10 years. And why don't y'all, as the locals, want us coming over there? They don't really want Black Americans over there because they know, once again, all of that Akata stuff of, oh, we do better than you in your own country. For one, they know all that go out the window, because we would really thrive there. And we will build up that land. We will build up that infrastructure. And they know that, and they don't want to be embarrassed, because they will see a group of people. We will get slaughtered over there, guys. If we went as a whole over there, and they saw how we was building up all that stuff. If you don't know Black Americans in their own cities, look up Mound Bayou, look at Durham, look at Tulsa, and you will see what I'm talking about. Black Americans know how to build a city when they're left alone. So they don't want to be embarrassed. They know we would go over there and teach those kids electric engineering, irrigation. We would teach those kids to stop poaching those animals and protect Mama Africa and protect all of those precious animals that deserve to be on that land and not poached by foreigners. They know that we would be going over there, and they would get mad at us for ruining their relations with foreigners and Westerners, because we would be more self-determined. We would believe that Africa is for Africans, or we would believe in Black people should be building up Africa. And they don't want that to happen. They will get embarrassed, and they will feel like, okay, y'all ruin it for us. We getting sanctions because of y'all niggas. Y'all too political. Y'all too radical. Y'all getting us, sanctioned and shit. So no, that's why they don't want us over there, because even with my skill set, they know I'll be teaching those kids all types of information. I'll be teaching them irrigation. I'll be teaching them welding. I'll be teaching them all types of stuff. And not just me, but all Black Americans will be over there doing our best to actually, like, okay, let's build a nice city. Let's build a real nice town for everybody to enjoy, for Black Americans and Africans to enjoy. And those Africans will, just like how you saw them tweets, they'll be talking just like that everywhere. They'll be talking. If you see that hatred in on social media, imagine how that hatred would be right in front of you. They will burn it down. They will burn it down once you build it up. You think white people burn your shit down when you build it up? Oh, they would do the same thing too. They would. So that is another reason why they don't let us over there. Now, does the Black American have beef with the African in the diaspora? Hell no. We are very accepting people. And we don't believe in disrespecting other groups of people. Other groups have disrespected us and they have been obsessed with us, and we love black people. So no, black Americans cannot understand tribalism because they know about the Conference of Berlin, and we know how conquer divide tactics was used to actually ruin Africa. So we actually don't understand tribalism. So now that we know that tribalism is something that you want and cannot live with as black people, the black American is like, okay, well, we don't have no beef with nobody, but if y'all going to be very hateful for no reason like that, we don't want to be around that either. What's the point of all this kumbaya Pan-Africanism with a bunch of jealous people, with a bunch of haters? That makes no sense. With the people who won't build, the people who have self-hatred and low self-esteem. You don't want to be around that, black people. So, you want it? You got it. You said we're not African? Okay, we're not African. Bye-bye. Now, if you want to mend anything, that's on you. Because black Americans, we're happy that Africa is not affected by that pandemic like that. We are not haters. We don't have any jealousy in our hearts where we want to see Africans, suffering from the virus. We don't. We are very glad that they have the ability to navigate the pandemic, and we want to see them thrive in Africa. We want to see it build back up. We want to see the fruits of the labor of the African be realized as far as their ingenuity, so that one day the diaspora can go back home. But we don't want the disrespect, but we don't have zero malice in our heart towards black Africans. So now that we talked about that, I just want to cover one more point. The black American wants their own ethnic identifier. We do not want to support people who do not support us. We do not want to rock with people who are disrespecting us. So the black American will be recognizing their own ethnic lineage, and will be very much more gatekeeping of the culture and watching people who are not in our culture until that disrespect and hatred goes away, until we see less of it. And one of the things that has been said, now that we are like, let's just embrace the 600 years that we've been here, our own culture. People are saying that, why are you taking pride in America and everything that they have done for you? And why are you, look what they did to you. But look at your country. Notice how it's okay for you to place your flags of your home country in your social media bios and everything that you do in the car, in the house. You got your flag in your life, despite the ongoing corruption, strife, and stagnation of your country. But the minute black Americans are proud to be black American and they're happy about their culture, y'all gotta remind black Americans of the shortcomings of America. We're like, we not freaking aware of it, while not even residing in your own country, while residing in America. So we're not dealing with hypocrisy and craziness and lack of critical thinking like that, and lack of logic, because we could see through it now, and we're just tired of it, to be honest. Yes, we are black American. Yes, we have a very different admixture. We have a very different culture, and so be it. Do we get everything right? No, we don't. But we are very loving people, and we are definitely Jaws people, and we are blessed, and we are definitely the chosen ones. So we don't care whether you rocking with us or not. But if you do want to amend a relationship and build genuine connections and friendships, of course, who wouldn't want that? Who doesn't want genuine connections? Who doesn't want friendship? Oh, of course we want that. So that's up to you. As far as being friends, nothing's wrong with being friends. Nothing's wrong with dating. But we're not going to tolerate a bunch of disrespect. It just cannot happen like that. And another thing, black American, that you need to know if you go to Africa, is that you will be seen as a foreigner. You may even be sabotaged. So you do need to stick together, and you will need to practice group economics. And you will need to study how the Chinese moved in, because it's possible that Africans will give you a harder time than Europeans and the Chinese, due to, you know what? I already showed you all the proof. So that's something that you need to know. And Africans, we really do wish the best for you in your land. And if you're even over here, we want the best for you. And this is just the way the black American is. The black American has lots and lots of love in a heart. So we can understand going online and seeing that crazy shit about my people. I don't understand it. I've collected it. I've been around y'all. I've eaten dinner with y'all. If I have not been around y'all, how would I know about Fataya? How would I know about Awazi, Tibbs, and Goldman if I have not been around y'all? How would I know about Yasa Poulet and Igusi and Sambusas? How would I know about that if I have not been around y'all? So I've been around various ethnic groups: Senegalese, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ethiopians, South Africans, people from Rwanda, Congolese. I've been around all types of Africans because I used to go to the Pan-African events. I used to go to the Afropolitan parties. So don't act like I don't know. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know exactly how y'all been treating my people. I go to these Afropolitan parties. Y'all play all music. Y'all play the Black American music. Y'all know every lyric in the Black American song. And then at the party, y'all, these Black American that's craziness. So we got to do some checking around here. So look, it needed to be called out. I just got tired of it. Black Americans are very, very much tired of it. We're all aware of it. And again, the proof is in the pudding. I got more proof. I could do so many videos showing tweets and rhetoric, videos, newsletters, all types of stuff, just talking about my people. Black Americans, like just Africans, just talking about, and you cannot find the equivalent. I want y'all to find the equivalent of Black Americans talking about Africans and make videos of it. Show me, because I know for a fact I know I have never ever met a Black American talk like how y'all be talking. I have never in my life seen anything like that in my life. Like, that is so traumatizing, because imagine having a bunch of love in your heart for Africans and for Black people, and you go and see stuff like that. Or imagine even dating an African and having to deal with that. That has happened to me. So yes, I am traumatized, and I really don't want nothing to do with y'all until y'all fix y'all ways. If y'all fix them, because whether you do or not, Black American is good. We've been here for 600 years, and we're gonna put up a fight for anybody that try to come for us and trying to take us out. We're not afraid of anybody. Yes, we got a long way to go, and we are learning more about self-love and learning even more and more about ascension and an increase in consciousness, because it is a whole new paradigm and it is a whole new energy floodgating this planet, and everybody needs to ascend their consciousness. No more childishness, no more blame game, no more self-hatred. The energy that you're going to need to tap into for 2021 and beyond is a powerful energy where you become the magician again as Black people, where you become the high scientist again as Black people, having confidence in yourself to knowing that you can change this world for the better and love on planet Earth and be in tune with nature. That's what the Black American is thinking about. That's what the average Black, I'm telling you, because I've been around my people and I know their subconscious mind. Their subconscious mind is thinking like, oh shit, stuff is about to get real with this pandemic and with, this new administration and all these things that they're trying to do with this world, and the technology that they're trying to usher in, and the programs and orders that they're trying to usher in on this planet Earth. Y'all gonna be putting up a fight. Y'all not gonna be having time to be going on social media with this Akata stuff. And y'all better study the Conference of Berlin if you know better, so you can understand what's in store for you historically with the same group of people that you've been dealing with. So that is the commencement of the Black American series. The Black American series covered the sociology, it covered the anthropology, it covered the cultural values, it covered everything that we have went through in this country for the last 600 years. And it covered everything that we ever went through. It also covered Black Americans in relation to the African diaspora, things we have been dealing with the African diaspora, in the hopes to mend that relationship. So this is the Black American. We have various splinter groups within that Black American identity, but it is a very specific term of who is a Black American, who is not. We do not want to be called African Americans anymore. We do not want other groups acting like they're Black Americans when they are not. It is a very specific historical and blood lineage. You would have had to been in this country for at least 400 to 600 years. You would have had to either been an Aboriginal, Indigenous, Indian on this land that got mixed in with the group of Africans that were brought over here in 1451. And you would have had that history of being enslaved, unfortunately, and being forced upon by said slave masters. So you would have a whole another history that is very unique to planet Earth. You're the only group to have built up the most powerful nation in the world while being disrespected and being slighted by our own government purposely. I showed you everything we went through, from Jim Crow to black holes to Reconstruction to World War One to World War Two. We talked about the Civil War. We talked about the Revolutionary War. We talked about redlining, restrictive covenants. We talked about the Civil Rights Movement. We talked about the Black Panthers. We covered everything of the Black American. We covered all the music, the genres. We covered all of the inventions as much as possible and the time allotted. We covered the sciences. So we have done so much in this country, and the Black American has a unique culture. We covered the foods that we love, things that we like to do, things that we value, and that was very important because the Black American must know thyself. Wherever you are on the planet, every human being must know thyself and must embrace their soul blueprint. So if you cannot love your physicality, you must love your soul, because the soul never dies. The soul replenishes, and the soul is vast. So Black Americans, you must love your soul enough throughout everything that society has done to us, and all the hatred and projection that people have tried to project onto us as far as their insecurities and low self-esteem. You must understand it has nothing to do with you, and that people who would oppress you for literally no reason are most likely threatened by you. So you must understand that your soul is powerful and to be loved and cherished, even as people try to make you feel inferior about blackness, even though we know what blackness does in relation to the sun and how the sun protects it. So never ever let nobody try to steal your crown, and never bow your head. Keep your head to the sky. And as far as the African diaspora, keep your head to the sky and learn from our history as much as possible, just like we are willing to learn from yours. Keep your head up to the sky. Be confident in yourself. And once again, you have to love your soul as well. Love your soul, because melanin is under attack, and everything that you have done, from your ingenuities, from your creations, from your artwork, has always been under attack. It's always been envied, and it's been stolen, and it has been destroyed. So in spite of all the African diaspora has went through, you must love your soul. And even though you guys have declared this imaginary beef with my people, just know that Black Americans are one of the most accepting people on this planet, and we literally have zero cognizance of hatred. And just know that we have zero malice in our heart towards the African diaspora. We want the African diaspora to thrive, because when one thrives, we all thrive. So what is the point in hating on a group of people that's doing good? Because that means that one day you'll be able to do good. They give you inspiration. They give you hope. They may even help you come up one day. So it's no point in hating on nobody. Everyone must ascend their consciousness in 2021. So Black Americans, I love you very much. I love you dearly. I think that you are an awesome group of people. You have definitely frustrated me at times. I have written books calling out things that you have done wrong, especially this gender war stuff. Even though we have our issues, I understand the vastness and the beauty in the Black American resiliency and alchemical transformation that they have embarked on through their adversity. So that to me will always be admirable, even though there are intricacies in our culture that are definitely toxic. And that go for everybody's culture. There's toxicity in everybody's culture. But for us, I only focus on us. I don't focus on other people. So Black American, please keep your head up to the sky. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye.
Right? How can anyone deny these facts? Why is it immigrants are not stopping reparations?
My ancestors come from the Caribbean, and there were slaves in the
so
Caribbean, and we
didn't qualify for the American reparations.
Well, here's the challenge. There are so many difficulties with trying to enact reparations, in part because the question is who gets them. Potentially, I could fall into that category. I honestly have called a pipe dream in the past, and I think that's what it is.
Well, it would be nice if there was an elegant, simple solution to all sorts of complicated problems. You're not actually talking about how to fix those problems if you're only talking about reparations. If we're only debating how we're going to parcel out responsibility for something that happened more than a century ago. And we're probably never going to do this. It's not clear to me why we're pursuing this thing.
Is it fair that there's no reparations, no restitution, nothing?
Should the Irish get reparations, by the way? Irish need not apply signs when they came here during the Progressive era. Sure. I mean, how far do we want to take this down? Are we acknowledging that there are ugly spots in history? Because 60% of the world would be entitled to slave reparations if you wanted to play that game.
Well, here's a fact. Slavery ended 154 years ago. It's been a long, long time since we had slavery in this country. And you have people like my family. I'm black, but my family came to the United States in 1962. My parents are from Costa Rica. Do I get a check?
I did a couple of essay contests that I actually won. And I won like NAACP AXO award for this essay and something else. I can't remember another, like I ended up winning money. And the essay was, do you think black people should get reparations? And I was like, no, you didn't work for it.
Why are you so against reparations?
Valerie, it's a matter of a waste of time. We've got so much to do. And yet you have people who invest so much energy and attention on what I consider to be a dead-end idea, a dead-end movement.
If we were to pay reparations today, we would only divide the country further. We would insult many black Americans by putting a price on the suffering of their ancestors.
Immigrants are not stopping reparations.